Shalom, shalom, Israel, shalom. It's your brother Joshua back with another quick coffee break and a quick exhortation for the brothers and sisters in truth, right? I just want to give a shout out to the brothers that just left, a mighty, mighty unity camp through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. It was a beautiful, holy convocation, man. We gathered together and we rebuked the unholy day, right? Unholy foolishness, wickedness throughout the earth, right? Daggum so-called LGBTQ Pride Month, all that type of wickedness, man. Brothers from all over the states came together, man, righteously, one accord, man, to do the work of the Lord. And it's a beautiful thing in the sight of the Lord, right? And that's something that we need to continually harp on in these last days is the unity of brethren, right? The love of your neighbor and gathering together with your people, because it's important in these last days to be together, so therefore we can gel together and really see the love of one another, seek the love of our own, prefer us rather than these other nations, right? And it's like I said, it's a beautiful thing in the sight of the Lord for brothers to dwell together in unity, right? Because there's nothing better than family coming together, right? Even those that you never knew from Adam, that's what makes it that much more the better, man. When you click up with brothers, or even you sisters clicking up with sisters that you never knew before, from completely different backgrounds and hours and hours and miles away from you, the Lord through the spirit that he gave us to come out and learn his holy word and turn from our evil ways and come together, man, as a family. He's building up his kingdom right now. Right, and that's what our job is to do the will of the Father, his work on this earth, right? While we're still here, is to build up the kingdom, the decaying estate of our people, right? And that's what we did this weekend, and it was beautiful. And I just want to admonish those brothers to continue to keep working, and we can continue to do this thing and grow it, right? Let me get this precept, man, the classic, always. Psalms 33 and 1, Psalms 133 and 1, rather. Behold, how good and how pleasant it is for brethren to dwell together in unity. Right? That's one of the most precious things in the sight of the Lord is, just unity of brother, man. Brothers that can come together one accord without using some type of extracurricular enhancement to make the time pass or have fun or just to even have a conversation, right? It's okay to, drink a little bit. Brothers have a little beer or a little yun, a little wine every now and then, you know what I'm saying? Just cooling, right? But that's not always needed, man. It's always to make, the heart happy, man, in those occasions, man. In the world, when you meet together and you mix that with the drink, you know what I'm saying, with the weed, smoke, the black, the pills, all that, man, all hell break loose, wickedness, and brothers, when they dwell together in righteousness, brothers don't need all that extracurricular activity. Brothers' spirits feed off of one another, man, and we, sharpen the countenance of one another, man, and we come together and it's, showing ourselves friendly. And as for me personally, the brothers coming down to my hometown, you know what I'm saying, or my home state, and, giving up their time to come and visit and be amongst brethren, man, as a man, the Lord tells us to show ourselves friendly. You know what I'm saying? We have to reach out and make our brothers comfortable. And that's what brothers should always do. When brothers dwell amongst one another, you want to make your people comfortable and just love on them and show them that they are family. Right? Let me get this precept in Proverbs real quick. Right? Proverbs chapter 18 and verse number 24, and it reads, a man that hath friends must show himself friendly, and there is a friend that sticketh closer than a brother. Right? So a man that has friends, he must show himself friendly, because You can't just invite somebody over your house and, hey man, you just invite them in and say, yeah, come on in, man, and sit down, and you don't talk to them no more. You don't deal with them no more. They just in your house looking around, don't know what's going on, man. They don't know what the agenda is, what's for dinner, whatever it is, man. They just come over, just hang out, just to look at the walls, man. Or we come over to watch the game, but we just sitting down, we just looking at the game. Ain't nobody speaking to each other. Ain't nobody serving no drinks. Ain't nobody breaking bread. There's no precepts coming out. Things of that nature, no music being played. No. When brothers dwell together in unity, man, and come together through the power of the Most High, man, and in the spirit, man, brothers must take care of brothers in all aspects, spiritually and on the physical level, man. Loving and preferring one another, actually showing the hospitality amongst one another, man. Because that's what the Lord said, man. We got to prefer one another in these last days, man, to be amongst one another. That's actually commanded of the Lord in Zephaniah 2:1. He says, gather yourselves together, O nation not desired, right? Because we understand, throughout the annals of time, man, right, what we read in the scriptures and what we live day by day, is we are the nation not desired. You Black, Hispanic, and Native Americans, so-called, man. The Israelites that the Bible speaks of, you are a nation that is not desired amongst the other nations, man. They look at you as nothing. You're lesser than 3/5 of a man, rather, right? So the Lord said you got to prepare your own in these last days and be hospitable to one another, man, right? And that's what we try to do when, brothers dwell together in unity, man. We want the warmth and the love to be shown, man, because that's what the Lord told us to do, right? Let's get a precept. All right, let's go to the book of Romans, right, chapter 12. All right. And I'm going to start at verse number 10. And it reads, be kindly and affectionate one to another with brotherly love, preferring one another. Salakia, with brotherly love and honor, preferring one another. We gotta honor our brothers, man, in this thing. Uplift one another, right? And it says preferring one another, not slothful in business, but fervent in the spirit, serving the Lord. And that's one way you serve the Lord, by serving your brothers, man. Right? You can't say you love the Lord and hate your brother in your heart and not serve and do things for your brethren, man. Right? So it says, not slothful in business, fervent in spirit, serving, rejoicing in hope, patient in tribulation, continuing instant in prayer. Right? Salakia. Esau trying to play with Satan is hating. Satan trying to take away the word, man, messing up the camera. Salakia. Right? So I'm going to read that again from the top. And it reads, be kindly affectionate one to another with brotherly love, in honor preferring one another, not slothful in business, fervent in spirit, serving the Lord, rejoicing in hope, patient in tribulation, continuing instant in prayer, distributing to the necessities of the saints, giving to hospitality, man. Right? We got to distribute, the necessities of our brothers, man. Take care of your brothers, man. Right? In honor, preferring one another in hospitality, man. Right? This is a beautiful thing in the eyes of the Lord. When you see your brethren come from a far distance traveling to do the work of the Lord, or you therefore visiting, things of that nature, when you come together in unity, you want to love on your brethren, man, and make sure everything is good with them, spiritually and physically, man. Feed your brother, physical food and spiritual food. Build them up. Check on them. Talk to them. See what's been going on. Things of that nature, man. Right? That's what we're here for. To love one another and to build one another right up in this world that we're living in, this current evil present world, and moving us toward the kingdom, man, the love of the Most High, Right, let's get another precept real quick, right? Let's go stay in Romans. We're going to go to chapter 1. Right, this is the book of Romans, chapter 1 and verse 11. And it reads, For I long to see you, that I may impart unto you some spiritual gift, to the end ye may be established. That is, that I may comfort together with you by the mutual faith, both of you and me. Right? So that's what we in this thing, to comfort one another, man, with the same faith that we have together, the things that we share, the Lord that had given us the ability to wake up to this knowledge, this understanding, this truth, right? And to give us them spiritual gifts that we may use them to build one another up, man, to make one another wax stronger and stronger in the spirit. That's why it says, for I long to see you, that I may impart unto you some spiritual gift, right? Because what the Lord say, iron sharpens iron, man. And we sharpen the countenance one of another. Right, let's get that in precept, real precept real quick. Shalaki, I'm going to read that. Right, this is the book of Proverbs, chapter 27, and verse number 17, and it reads, Iron sharpeneth iron, so a man sharpeneth the countenance of his friend. Right? You see that? So iron sharpens iron, man. So you should be able to sharpen the countenance of your friend, man. Sitting and going over the precepts, right? You know, building one another in the spirit, man, righteously. Right? Trying to break the chains of the darkness, man, of the evil place, this evil one, man. That, you know, because we're bound in chains of darkness, man, in this wicked flesh going off, you know, things of that nature, man. Brothers need that brotherly love to help one another, man, get through this valley of the shadow of death. And that's what we did, you know, this mighty weekend. As brothers sat down and broke biscuits, is what we call it, man. You know what I'm saying? It broke down scriptures together, you know, sit back and enjoyed music and barbecue and tacos and all type of stuff, man. And, you know, just sit and checked up one another, man, and really let the spirit flow. And it was a beautiful thing to see, right? And that's what real family does. You know, it sharpens one another, man. All right, let's get another precept real quick. Let's go to Psalms. All right, let's go to Psalms chapter 68. Right, let's go to Psalm 68 and verse number 6, and it reads, The Most High sitteth the solitary in families. He bringeth out those which are bound with chains, but the rebellious dwell in a dry land. So the Lord brings out those, you know, that are in these chains of death, in your earthly vessels, man. That's what that is a chain of death, man. Because your flesh desires what? Wickedness. It's contrary to your spirit, man. Right? So he said, I bring out those that are bound in chains, man. Right? And give them the living water, man. You know, because you dealing with this day-to-day, your day-to-day job, you know, your oppression on your job or whatever it is, you know, any type of addiction you deal with, the lust of the flesh, the lust of the eyes, the pride of life, all those things bound you in these chains, man, of darkness, right? But he brings us together as a family, so therefore we can uplift one another and comfort one another, man, and to get us loose and make us forget the world, right, for that moment. Because day by day we're gonna struggle every day with something. But when you amongst friends, man, and that spirit is flowing, it's a beautiful thing, man. You seem to forget the things of the world, man, and you receive more wisdom, man. Brothers imparting wisdom one to another, man. Giving peace one to another. Loving one another. Giving brothers precepts that they may never even heard, that they can use in a time of their affliction, man, to help them get out of certain situations, man. You know, comforting one another, essentially. Right? Let's get another precept real quick. Right, check this out. Because the end of that precept, rather finishing now, says, you know, the rebellious is going to remain in dry places. And that's what you see in Babylon the Great, man. It's nothing but dry bones, man. death and drug abuse and sexual abuse and murder and gang banging and all type of stuff, man. Widowhood, everything. It's a dry land. And when you're rebellious is when you're not keeping the laws of the Most High, man. And that's what a lot of our people are doing. They're rebellious people. And he said you're going to remain in a dry place. Just like in Proverbs said, ye that wander out of the... Matter of fact, let me get there real quick, right, before I go to this. Right, that's Proverbs, right, I believe 16. Let's get that. Right, Salakia. This is Proverbs chapter 16 and verse number, or is it Salakia? Is it 21 and 16? It says, this is Proverbs 21 and 16. It says, the man that wandereth out of the way of understanding shall remain in the congregation of the dead. So that's those rebellious brothers and sisters that's out there that refuse to do the will of the Lord, right? That refuse to keep the commandments of the Most High. You're going to remain in the congregation of the dead, right? So that's why we sit amongst one another, to comfort one another, to build each other up, fervent in that spirit, man, of the Lord, right? So let's get this other precept in 1 Thessalonians, right? I want to get that real quick. 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, right? Let's get that. All right, this is the book of 1 Thessalonians chapter 5 and verse number 11. And it reads, wherefore comfort yourselves together and edify one another, even as also ye do, man. Because that's what we have to do, is edify one another. Meaning we're educating, we're imputing wisdom upon one another, so therefore we can accomplish, the goal is doing the will of the Father, man, and building the countenance of a man, the wisdom of a man, right, directing him to the kingdom. That's why the Lord said, speak things that accompany the kingdom. And that's what we do when we dwell together, man. We edify one another, meaning we comfort one another through the scriptures, right? Because like I said, day to day, we have different struggles, man. But also we have the same struggles. The Lord said there's no temptation that has taken you that is not common to man, right? In 1 Corinthians, every brother has their own struggle, but yet many brothers struggle with the same things. So therefore, we come together and say, hey, man, I'm dealing with such and such. And the other brothers say, man, me too. But this is how I dealt with that. These are the precepts I use. This is the knowledge I use with that, man. So therefore, hey, man, we comfort one another. We edify one another through the scriptures, man. Right? Because the Lord said this. Let's go to the classic real quick. Let's get another precept in Ecclesiastes. Right? Go to the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 4. Ecclesiastes chapter 4 and verse 9. I'm going to start at verse number 9. And it says, two are better than one, because they have a good reward for their labor. Because in this walk, when you follow the Lord, it's hard to be alone. Because if you fall, you don't have anybody else to pick you up along the way. Right? But the Lord said two are better than one. Reading on, it says, for if they fall, the one will lift up his fellow. But woe to him that is alone when he falleth, for he have not another to help him up. So if you do not have another to help you up, man, hey, you can fall away and you can be destroyed at the end of the day. That's why it's good to have a brother on your side or a sister on your side that's like-minded in everything you do. Right? And that's what we do when we come together. Right? Matter of fact, I'm going to get a precept on that real quick. All right, check this out. This is the book, right, of Ecclesiasticus. Right? This is the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 32, and verse number, matter of fact, let me get that, and 37 and 12, and it reads, but be continually with a godly man, whom thou knowest to keep the commandments of the Lord, whose mind is according to thy mind, and will sorrow with thee when thou shalt miscarry. So the Lord said, always be continually with a godly man, right? That's going to, share those same things with you and understand when you fall or you make a mistake, they know how to lift up their brother, man. You know, one that keeps the commandments of the Lord, man, does the will of the Heavenly Father, man, in these last days, right? And he says, the friend, man, a friend loveth at all times, man, but a brother is built for adversity. Paraphrasing, right? Matter of fact, let me get that. I hate paraphrasing precepts, man, because it never sounds good unless it's coming from the word, right? So this is the book of Proverbs, chapter 17 and verse 17. It says, a friend loveth at all times, and a brother is born for adversity, man. So, hey, man, it was an experience with brothers this weekend. A brother were born for adversity. We stood 10 toes down among legions of demons, man, walking around and scoffing and cussing and spitting and jumping in your face and things of that nature, man. Brothers stood strong. Brothers that didn't know each other from Adam, never seen each other, but knew that we all stood for the same thing, man. Right? And we came together as one. And we loved, right? We loved through the power of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, man, the Heavenly Father, man, and his Son. Right? We loved together doing the same things, one accord, because we kept the commandments, man. And we stood strong in the midst of a legion of demons, man. And it was a beautiful thing to see, right? In the sight of men and in the sight of the Most High, man. It was a blessed sight. And that's what we about, because, you know, a friend is a faithful thing, and it's a faithful defense in a time of trouble, right? The Lord, hey, man, there's some people that say they're your friend in the world, but soon as you fall or get into some trouble, hey, man, they out the door. But a friend will stick closer than a brother, right? And that's what I have amongst us, man, those that keep the commandments of the Most High. That is your true family, man. Right, check this out. It's the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 6 and verse number 14, and it reads, a faithful friend is a strong defense. He that hath found such as one hath found a treasure. Nothing doeth countervail a faithful friend, and his excellency is invaluable. A faithful friend is the medicine of life, and they that fear the Lord shall find him, man. So what is fearing the Lord? It's the beginning of wisdom. When you receive the wisdom, it's how do you receive the wisdom? By keeping the commandments. That's how you get the understanding, man. By keeping the commandments, man, of the Lord, right? And I'm going to prove that real quick, and I'm going to go back to this precept, right? But that's how you understand the scriptures. That's the only way you're going to receive the knowledge of the Lord, by keeping his commandments, right? So check this out. I'm going to prove that with the scriptures. This is Psalms 111 and verse 10. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. A good understanding have all they that do his commandments. His praise endureth forever, right? So, I mean, it's proven. So therefore, reading this again, verse 16, it says, a faithful friend is the medicine of life, and they that fear the Lord shall find him, man. So if you fear the Lord, hey, you're going to find that faithful friend, man, that keep the commandments, right? Hey, it's all proven in the scriptures, man. And it says, verse 17, whoso feareth the Lord shall direct his friendship aright. For as he is, so is his neighbor also. Right? So if you out here, you know, trying to get away from that wicked worldly friendship or fake friendship, man, keep the commandments, man. And find those that keep the commandments of the Lord, man. And guess what? Your friendship will always be directed in the right path, man. Because your mind is like-minded, because your mind is of the Lord and not of this world, man. Right? And I wanted to get one more precept because, you know, I just wanted to come make this quick videos because what I seen this weekend, what I experienced with brothers that came from all over the map and came to one accord and just taught the word and brought it out together, and dwelt in mighty unity together, man. And it was just a beautiful thing. It was a glimpse into the future kingdom of what the kingdom of the Most High is going to look like, man. Right? When everybody's in unity and peace and actually loving one another, man. In these last days, right? So I'm going to get this precept real quick in Matthew chapter 11. Matter of fact, Matthew 12, right? And verse number 48, and it reads, "But he answered and said unto him," matter of fact, I'm going to start at 47, right? So this is Mary, the mother of Christ, coming up to Christ and telling him, matter of fact, Salakia, they were coming up and telling him that your mother desired to speak with you, right? So I'm going to start at verse 47. It says, "Then one said unto him, Behold, thy mother and thy brethren stand without, desiring to speak to you." So someone was telling Christ that, look, your mother and your brethren are coming, they want to talk to you. And it says, verse 48, "But he answered and said unto him that told him, Who is my mother? And who are my brethren? And he stretched forth his hand toward his disciples and said, Behold my mother and my brethren. For whosoever shall do the will of my Father, which is in heaven, the same is my brother and my sister and my mother." Right? So that's what I seen this weekend, is those that came together to do the will of the Most High God, man. That dwell together in unity under the umbrella of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, right? The one they call God and the one they call Jesus Christ, right? That's what I seen, the love of brethren, those that did the will of the Heavenly Father. We're not bound together with actual blood, but guess what? Those are my brothers, man, and those are my sisters, man. Right? And I'm going to always stand 10 toes down for them and be hospitable anytime those brothers or their sisters come to my home, man. And that's what we should always do as brothers, man. In a Mashiach Yahushua, is show hospitality and love and real genuine fellowship with our people in these last days, man. And let me get this last precept, man. The classic in the book of Hebrews. Right? Short and sweet. The book of Hebrews, right? Chapter 13 and verse number 1. And it reads, right? Let me get this like it. And it reads, "Let brotherly love continue," man. And that's plain upon tables. Allow the brotherly love to continue in these last days, because without it, we can't be nothing. We can't build the kingdom of the Most High, man, in these last days. And it is what it is, man. Love your neighbor as yourself. Genuine, true love by keeping the commandments of the Most High, man. But with that, hope it was edifying, giving our honor and glory to Yahweh, by Shema Mashiach Yahushua, and saying, Kum Yasha Allah, Shalom.